Welcome, everyone. If you're watching this when this is posted, it's Sunday. I hope that you all had a wonderful weekend. I certainly did. I was really glad the weather held up pretty good. We did have some rain, but who doesn't enjoy a good rainstorm in the summertime? So I did have a surprise today. I did have a delivery come. I completely forgot that I had ordered this deck, but I had ordered three different oracles, and this is one of them, the White Light Oracle, which is a new one for me. I'm excited about this. I'm going to pull from this tomorrow when we do the other oracle reading. And this person who does this particular oracle also is the one that did the Sacred Rebel, which is the one we're pulling from today. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. And the card that came out was number 3, Shock of the New. So I'm looking forward to reading this. And this is what that card looks like. Very beautiful. I have to say this person does some wonderful oracles, and I enjoy reading them and looking at the imagery that is done. So let's go ahead and see what this one has to say. Shock of the New. What wild, unconventional voice is calling you? Can you hear it? It is so different and so unusual. It might be hard to decipher, like hearing an unfamiliar language for the first time. It might be hard to discern with great clarity now, but there is an affinity between you and this strangely beautiful newness seeking to manifest. This oracle says there is a stirring at the deepest level within you. Something new will break through, and the process of this birth may be a shock to you. This shock will transform into great joy and a sense of tremendous liberation. But you must bear the strangeness first. That strangeness might be something that rattles your beliefs about yourself and your world, daring you to become more of yourself, more open to where life is leading you, and more willing to be the unique sacred art being crafted by the hand of the universal creator. It is really challenging to do things that make you, I guess, more in an uncomfortable position. I have to say, like, being more authentically yourself can be uncomfortable for people who had to frame themselves in a particular way throughout their life due to how they were programmed and molded through their life. I came from an immigrant family, so there was that expectation of outward perfection. And I'm not saying it's just isolated to immigrant families, but that was just my experience. And it was immensely stressful, being always dimmed down with my light and not being able to be genuinely who I was. So being that in my life now is an adjustment because I was so used to being put in a particular box of expectation. All right, let's continue. Nature never shies away from strange beauty. She allows for endless diversity, and her sacred works are often particular and stunning. You live within her field of creative grace as a specially created work that also creates. You are being asked to surrender any fear you may have of being seen as exotic, unusual, eccentric, or bizarre. You are being asked to make peace with strange beauty and let it happen through you in a creative flow. Perhaps you need to allow your conventional ideas of beauty to become even more inspired and open. Perhaps you can allow your need for the world to behave according to your fixed ideas to fall away. You will receive so much more in its place. That is really true. The more I lean into being authentically true to who I am and who I was, I should say, as a child, um, it's definitely a very freeing, surrendering feeling. It feels more real. It feels more authentic. And I definitely encourage you, if you're going through that discomfort, to allow yourself to go through it. You will draw in people who appreciate you authentically the way you are. I noticed that the more I presented myself in a certain way throughout my life, I attracted those types of people who were very fake. I feel that the more authentic I become, the more real I become, the more I come across people who are more flawed, more real, more authentic in who they are. And that's very refreshing because it gives you a level of comfort of being seen for who you are truly. And that's special. It's very special. Let's continue. This oracle comes with a special message for you. There are rumblings and stirrings of the creative life force happening now, deep in the undercurrent of your being. If you are very attuned or sensitive, you may have consciously felt this already, with excitement, discomfort, or both. If you have not yet sensed these inner stirrings, they are happening all the time at the same time. So be on the lookout for the big shift of new birth and shock of the new, the unconventional, and strangely beautiful, and the disturbing liberation of that which is foreign stepping into your life. It is a strangely beautiful and disturbing liberation because it unsettles the people who want you to fit perfectly in their box of expectation, and it welcomes and excites those who really want to get to know you genuinely for who you are. It is very liberating to attract people that you genuinely care to be around. Let's continue. This is life creating the stage upon which you will experience greater fulfillment. Don't be nervous if the rumbling of change turns into mighty roars that rock boats burst forth as a novel idea and change things in ways that is out of your control. This is so true. The more you lean into the authenticity of yourself, the more you realize how out of control you are, that you do not have as much control as you thought you had, that control was coming from a very artificial area of past conditioning that was embedded in you to believe that that level of control was your authentic self when it really wasn't. Let's continue. This is life happening. Free fall into it. The oracle of the shock of the new comes to you saying the old way is on its way out. You are being invited, dragged, nurtured, and coerced into the new. I welcome it. I welcome it. I love the new. I love the people that are coming into my life. I love the energy of everything around me. Oh, it's wonderful. I mean, yeah, at the beginning, it's very rattling and hard. And there are times now that it's rattling and hard, but you get through it. And actually, each time you get through one more obstacle, it gets that much better. You can handle it. This oracle brings you guidance. You are about to encounter something new and different in your life. This is helpful. Don't reject it, no matter how small or insignificant or how powerful and life changing it may seem to be. You are being asked to dispense with your reliance to the past and what you have been and what have you been your tools to navigate life. So get rid of those things. Get rid of the reliance on the past and what you have been your tools to navigate your life. You don't need them anymore. Liberate yourself, surrender, free yourself. Honestly, it's the best thing you can do. Okay, let's continue. You have outgrown your old methods. You will have to fly by the seat of your pants, so to speak, as you experiment with new ways to be. Life will show you the way. Absolutely. And the healing process is, if you can, allow yourself to feel as though you are becoming soft and gentle in your mind, heart, and body. Breathe easily, relax. This is something I've been trying to do. So, with my rituals in the morning, when I wake up, I do a cleanse. I do a chakra cleanse as well. I do a bad energy cleanse first, then a chakra cleanse. Then I do my grounding in the morning. And it really helps me enter the day in a more peaceful, calm way. So I'm trying not to lean so much into that masculine energy, which I often did for many, many years as a way of coping with my trauma. It helped protect me. I'm trying to allow myself to lean more into my feminine energy to not be so controlled in everything. Okay, so breathe easy, relax. Imagine the strangest, most beautiful creature you can. Bring it to life with color and texture. Envision the eyes, the body, the wings, the fur, the feathers. How bizarre can you get? What are the qualities, powers, and characteristics? Be playful with the process. If you find it difficult to visualize, and I have to say, all my life, I mean, when I was a child, I definitely had a very big imagination when I was very young, but that was stripped away, and I had a hard time visualizing anything. When I did the grounding video, visualizing the beam of light coming from the universe, grounding to the center of the earth, like visualizing that beam of light was a very difficult thing for me. But I have gotten much better at it, especially knowing that I've recently started having dreams that I remember. That's been pretty wild too. So that's changed. But I feel like the more you release the control, the more need you have to control every narrative, the more your imagination expands. That's just been my experience. It could be different for other people. So let's get back to this. If you find it difficult to visualize, you may like to write a description of your strange and beautiful creature, or simply imagine what it would feel like. Does it have soft fur, sharp claws, feathery wings, made of crackling, fizzy electrical currents, or sensitive, furry antennas with delicate eyes on the tips? Or is it a strange flower that speaks, a tree that grows upside down? Whatever comes to you is just what is needed. Trust in your imagination, as subtle as, or as wild as it is, and let it speak to you. After you have played with your imaginings for a few moments, complete your healing process with the declaration intention. Imagine or intend that you are sending it out into the far recesses of the universe. I am supported through the shock and of the new. I accept the beauty in all that is foreign or strange to me, as I know it will be bringing in me new gifts, wisdom, life experience, creative inspiration through unconditional love. So be it. That was really, really lovely, because imagination is so important. Imagination is really what keeps your spirit alive, makes you believe in things unseen, unheard. I mean, think about it. When an artist makes artwork, it's their imagination that takes them there. When a musician makes a new song, or a poet writes a new poem, it's that imagination within you that takes you there. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to allow yourself to be free in the area of imagining. So the next oracle we're going to get into is the Work Your Light Oracle, which is this one right here. And the card that came out for that was Warrior Woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? Oh, I'm excited about reading this one. So let's go ahead and get into that oracle. What do we have for the Warrior Woman? You are here for a reason. You are being called to bravely pave a path. Have you answered your highest and deepest calling? Living a heart and soul led life, not as fluffy and smooth sailing. Living a heart and soul filled life requires courage to triumph over fear. So often our fears are gatekeeping keepers to our greatest gifts. Yeah, that's true. Fear is what keeps you away from expanding in that creative area. That is so true. It keeps you from doing a lot of things. And the more resistance we have towards answering a call, the more important it is for our soul's growth. Sometimes fear is an indication that we are facing the right way. Yeah, because oftentimes when you get past that fear, I mean, I would say every time I've gotten past a fear, it nearly wasn't as huge of a deal as I was making it out to be. The fear was definitely taking over the joy that could have came out of it. Joan of Arc was known for her courage and her famous line, "I am not afraid, I am born to do this." For the thing about, but the thing about courage is that it is not possible without fear. So if you're feeling afraid, what is needed is courage. And courage comes from living from the heart. That is so true. Because when you live from the side of ego, I call it, I know this probably isn't the proper way of saying it, but this is how I refer to it, as the masculine and feminine. I always go, my masculine side is like my ego side, the side that's protecting me, the hypervigilant side, and the heart side is my feminine. It's where I kind of let free and let go and let be. It takes so much courage to get past those things, to get past the fear. But to have courage, you have to have fear. You have to have something that you're fearing, so you have that courage. And living from the heart is so much more freeing, but it makes you vulnerable. That's the scary part, right? We all have that fear of being vulnerable. Let's continue. Think of your fears as opportunities to expand rather than things that are holding you hostage. If you look at your fears in this light, then, and as uncomfortable as it might feel, it actually a sign that you are on the right track. And the work your light inquiry is, have you answered your deepest calling? I'm sure we can all ask ourselves that question. What is your deepest calling? Then we have the angel numbers. So the one that came out was 242, power. You are very capable. And I'm looking forward to reading this one. Become aware of the power of your thoughts and words. Your angels want you to know that your mental state reflects in every relationship, opportunity, and environment you end up in. Be an impartial observer of all your thoughts and self-talk today. Your angels are listening. It is so important that you give yourself the proper self-talk in your day because it can really gear things in a different direction each time. Make sure that you're reinforcing the positive affirmations that are true to who you are authentically. That is your power. Your power is allowing yourself to recognize the beauty in who you are as a human, who you are on this earth, and how you impact others' lives. And then Spirit said, flip the deck. And I did that. Let me put that up here. And we got 410, help incoming. It's all coming together now. And that's that number. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. We're going to see what that has to say to us. Your angel's message is clear. The final steps in receiving is to have an open mind. You have all you need in this moment right now. Choose a centering pose such as the butterfly, child, or easy seat that promotes inner peace. Feel abundantly grateful that more is on its way to you in divine timing. There it is again, everyone, a divine timing, right? Trusting in divine timing that what all that is worthy of coming to you is coming to you in divine timing. It might not be now, it might not be tomorrow, but it's coming towards you. And when you do trust, I have to say, my whole experience with this whole thing has been just trusting in divine timing. It really makes life so much more pleasant and smoother. It's much more challenging when you're trying to like buck up against divine timing. You're just trying to force everything to happen. It just makes everything chaotic. It makes so much more drama in your life that is unnecessary. So now we're going to look at the angel wisdom, and that came out as abundance. Abundance is my essence, my foundation, and my being. The angels are telling you that you already possess the power to have everything you've ever dreamed of and more. When you cultivate true joy, love, peace, passion, purpose, and freedom inside yourself, you'll see these things reflect back to you in your outside world. This, I can testify, is absolutely true. When I see things in abundance, they come towards me in abundance. And I know a lot of times people will say, well, I think of these things like I want $1 million and I didn't get $1 million. Well, that's not thinking in abundance, right? That's even though it is thinking in abundance in a sense, you have to put the steps in to get there. Abundance just doesn't come out of the blue. Abundance comes by putting the work in, putting those intentions in place. This is why I do the energy checks, right? Like the video if you enjoy it. That's why I do these energy checks every day, because it helps prepare you for the next day. It helps you strategize your intention setting. I'm a huge intention person. Huge, huge. I've always been. Setting intentions really makes a huge impact in your life. And even if you don't encounter the energies that are presented in those readings, at least you're prepared should they occur. And actually, it puts you ahead of the game. It helps you think about the next day. It helps you say, all right, even if I don't see those energies come through, what do I want to set my intentions for the next day? What do I want to work towards in my life? You want to work towards something. You have a dream, you have a vision. There is something in your mind that you want to make happen. And for you to make those things happen, you've got to set those intentions. You have got to strategize and be intentional with what you're planning to get yourself to where you want to be. And that abundance is there for all of us. But you have to put the work in. You have to be strategic in putting those steps in. It's just not magic. It's just not going to happen. You have to be setting your intentions right so that you can have that outcome that you're looking for, making those dreams become a reality in your life, living your best life, because you deserve that. You deserve having your best life. No one should have the power to take that from you. And in the end, you're the one that has full control over your life. You're the one who is going to be able to set the destiny of what happens in your life. Nobody else can control it unless you're allowing them to control it. And that is a fact. You are able to control what happens in your life, especially as an adult. It's like when I always say to people, own your shit. Like, there is a point in life where you got to stop blaming everybody, right? Like, I can sit there and blame my parents, like my dad did this, my mom did this, you can do this forever. But what happens is you never move. You just stay in a stagnant position. So at some point you have to own your shit. Go to therapy, work on yourself, change the course of your life, better yourself. That's the only thing you can do. The only thing you can do is better yourself. You can't change other people. And you know where change comes from is when you better yourself. People see that happening to you, and then they want to change themselves because they see how good your life is going. Now, mind you, there are people who will never change. That is a fact. I've seen it time and time again. They will live their whole life in a total dysfunctional, toxic mess. That's just how they function. But there are people who will get motivated and inspired by you working on yourself, going inward, and investing on being a better person, bettering your own life. You are worthy of that. Don't let anybody else take that away from you. Oh, by the way, I did make a new Yap video on my Mystic Alchemist channel. Do check that out. I'm going to make a post and link that as well for this channel if anybody wants to go watch it. I talk about the narcissistic parent and the programming that's been done since your childhood. If you've been in that situation, um, many of us have had to deal with that type of a dynamic in our lives. So do check it out if you get a chance. I appreciate the support on all my platforms. And I hope that you guys have a great week ahead. Again, it's a timeless message, but if you're watching this, it is Sunday. So I want to wish you all well. Do take care, prioritize yourself. Don't let anybody rule your life but you. You are the one in control. And remember, all things in divine timing. I wish you all well. Blessings.